दुईटा छ मेरो त किन हो कुन्नि?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wake Up UK.net. This is north of the border with myself, Sandy Smith. I've got a co-host on tonight. It's Captain Jane there on the corner, and I've got a very special guest on tonight. And I'm really looking forward to doing a show tonight. My guest tonight, this is the first time I've actually spoke to this man, and I'm so excited. His name's Danger. Sorry, bear with me. His name's Dangarang, and he's a Gurkha. Now, the history of the Gurkhas is unbelievable. They've been part of the British Army for over 200 years. They're the fearless fighters. Unbelievable. As far as I know, they can trace their roots away back to the 8th century from right here. They've been part of the British Army. Correct me, Dan, if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it's 1815 the Gurkhas became part of the British Army. We'll also be talking tonight why these brave warriors are getting injustice done to them. What our British government are doing to these amazing guys is unbelievable. But it's all true. It's for someone who can put their life up to protect us is unbelievable itself. But the way our British government are treating these brave warriors, they want to bury their head in shame. Absolutely. So, good evening, Dan, and it's an honour and a pleasure to have you on my show. Thank you.
Namaste and good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Dhan Gurung. I want to start how does it happen? Okay, first of all, it is over 207 years that is historical injustice and inequality treated by the British government. So once I'm retired from the British Army, then we the Ghurkas started to raise our voice from the street to the parliament in Nepal and in London. We wasted our time more than 32 years to raising these voices, but no one listening our grievances, our issues. And then we use all other means to solve this problem, but we couldn't. At the end, there was no other solution, no other means. That's why I myself, I declare to go on a hunger strike. The date was 15th of December 1920. Exactly after 1 year, in 2021, from August 7 until August 19, we, the three guys, myself, Gyanraj Rai, and Pushparana Gale, we started our hunger unto the death. The reason why we went or why we decided to go the hunger strike is the first things, historical injustice. Second things, treating very badly, inequality. That's the main reason. That's why we, the three guys, decided to go on hunger strike. So once we started our hunger unto the death, during that time, lots of media, they interview us, They're asking so many questions. Even the Defense Secretary Ben Wallace, he want to meet me. He sent the message through the Sky Television, and then at that time, our demand was only three demands. First demands, okay, first demand is need to form up ministerial level dialogue team in between Nepal government and the British government. The second demand was need to confirm the date for the dialogue. The third demand was in that meeting, we the Gurkhas must be involved. So these three was our demand during the hunger strike. So on 19th of August, uh, Right Honorable Minister Leo Dokati, he came to the pen where we were on hunger strike in a piece of paper in written. He came there. And then it was written that clearly it says British government is agreed to dialogue with the Nepal government in represent with the Gurkhas. And then the dialogue team should be formed up in November 2020. And then dialogue should be start in December 2021. But unfortunately, so November also gone, December also gone, January also gone, February also now halfway gone. But there is no dialogue team at all. Why this has happened? Because the Nepal government, they are not paying attention. They have their own conventions, and then the COVID. These are the main reason. That's why the Nepal government could not form up the dialogue team. However, we are keep on chasing with the Nepal government, and then now finally, the Nepal government will send the new ambassador with the full power of Nepal government. Once he arrive in UK, then he will act accordingly as a representative of the Nepal government. So until the ambassador in UK, there is no dialogue team, or there will be no dialogue in between Nepal government and the British government and the Gurkha representative. So I think by next week, the ambassador will be here. Once he is here, then we will have a meeting with him. After that, I will let you know when the dialogue is going on. So uh, that's all I have to say for the in general. And then I want to say some things. What was the different in between British soldiers and then Gurkha soldier? I just want to give first example. When I was retired from the British Army, it was 1993. That's the time I received my monthly pension, pound 20 only. Pound 20 only. Whereas my British counterpart, they receive 400 pound plus. So it was 480 pound in differences. I'm receiving 20 pound. My British counterpart, they are receiving 400 plus. So we are working same job, but the pension was that much different. And the second example, uh, if I married, but I will not get any separation allowance, And during my 15 years of service, only 30 months, 30 months allowed to stay my wife with me. Rest of time, my wife must stay in Nepal. So 2.5 years only. During the 15 years of service, my wife stay with me only 2.5 years, either 30 months. But if the British soldier they married from the day one, they will have a barrack, and they are allowed to stay with her, with his husband. And if they are separated, for some reason, or training or jungle exercise or overseas exercise, they will receive the separation allowance. But we never received. We never received. These are the main two, uh, what you call, discrimination. And then uh, during my service, we have a different quarter, a different mess. We are not allowed to go to the other messes, and then it's really pain my heart. I don't know how to explain. So um, yeah, you guys have any question? I'm ready to take it, please.
Wow.
If I can just say, Dan, um, we we were up there supporting your independence when you was on your hunger strike.
Yeah.
Why I'm wearing this? We all know of your proud reputation. I'm ex-Royal Navy, and I'm ashamed of our government, how they are treating you Gurkha veterans. It's not on.
Um. Yeah. Even we create the petition, which was created by Roy Anthony Brinkley, and the petition debate was 22nd November 2021. You can find the debate in government website. Most of the MPs they said need to be solved this problem because Gurkhas are treated very badly, unequally, should have equal right. But at the end, Mr. Leo Ducati, he answered, he says everything treating fairly. That's why we don't want the word fair. We want the word equal and equality. Fair means you can you can imagine either 1 pound or 2 pound or 5 pound. That's maybe fair. Equal means if you receive 1 pound, I should receive 1 pound. And another things, we the Gurkhas only allowed to serve 15 years. Even we want 22 years, we are not allowed. I don't know why they didn't permit to us. Then we should go pension within the 15 years. We are not allowed to serve more than 15 years. If you are higher ranking, like a sergeant, a warrant officer, or officer, yes, 18 years, 20 years, 24 years, and the major, maximum 30 years. But I, as a corporal, I must serve only 15 years. They didn't allow me serve more than 15 years. And then during the hunger strike, I said, okay, now British government and the Nepal government will take a dialogue. But if it is on the Gurkha side, Yes, we agreed. Maybe if they say, "Oh no, 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 no," I may go back to the pen and start the hunger strike again. So I don't want that will happen again. I'm pretty sure and optimist the British government will treat equally. So you, the guys, need to support us. Speak with your MP from your constituency so that uh, they can give a pressurize to the dialogue team. And I hope we will receive the justice which is equal and equality. If there is no equal and equality, and if they say fair, 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 I may go back again to the hunger strike pen.
Well, you know,
Yeah, please go ahead.
the British people, I
Yeah,
know it'll upset them when they hear this story going out tonight, but it's absolutely, I can't even think the right words to put it in perspective. But when you fight for your country, the
yeah,
least your government can do is give you respect. And that's been taken away from you. And that's not like the UK government's, it's nothing new. They've been like that for years. It, it's unbelievable. But anyone that's listening in tonight, you should be, and I state should be, contacting your local MP, asking questions. Why is this not happening? Just don't do this once or twice. Do it at least once, twice a week. So
yeah,
you get an answer. So you get an answer back off your MP. Why this is happening? Anyone who stands and puts their life for our country to protect us and be treated in a manner they are being treated in. Again, I can't find the right words for this discussion. That's the only word I can think of. We can all do our part to help and this, get this solved. And it's called by contacting your MP. That's where it starts from. You keep sending messages into your MP asking them why. I'm asking everyone tonight to please support us, contact your MP, give our support to the Gurkas because they gave their life. They were giving their life for us. It's the least we can do as a human being.
yeah,
And I'm just new to this with the Gurkas and stuff. I've been reading up a lot, watching a lot of films. And what I see, oh my God, there were a little film I watched that was talking about the Gurkhas. And it goes back to the Second World War when we were involved with the Japanese, fighting the Japanese. The Gurkhas were sent into this battle. And after the battle, of course, the Gurkhas had won it. The Gurkhas went in with rifles, but after this battle was finished, not one of the Gurkhas had a bullet in their rifle. They never had a bullet on them. Not one bullet on them. And they went in and won a battle. That is just wow, but you feared the world over. There's no doubt that you're the best fighting force out there. And I know if I was sent into battle and I was asked, what do you want? Do you want a gun or do you want this? I would go, no. Give me a good regiment of Gurkhas. I'll take that instead because I know I'm going to come out of that alive. I do salute you again for this. You're fearless. If that's the right word. Also watched a thing there about the Gurkhas as well. And it was saying you would rather give your life than walk away. And in that they were saying about what they meant by walking away is you would rather give your life than surrender. That anybody to do that, that's bravery. Is that the right word? I don't know. That's unbelievable. Anybody would go, well, I'd rather die than surrender, you know, give. Geez, oh man, it's unbelievable. But I mean, from a young age, I was watching Israel. It's every young boy's dream to become a Ghurka. Am I correct in saying that? You know, to you, Dan, as I was saying there, I watched this video and it was talking about from a young age, it's every boy's dream to become a Ghurka. You know, they want to become a Ghurka. Is that true? I don't know if you can hear it.
Thank you for your kind support. I really appreciate it. I think you need to spread out. I request you spread out this message how the Gorkha treated very badly on equality, and then still until today there is uh, no what do you call no dialogue, and then I don't know even there is a dialogue. It will come a good result or bad result. If bad result, we may go back to pen. If good result, we will accept it. But according to the Leo Ducati, he said uh, on November 22, everything he said is Gorkhas are treated fairly. That's the word. Is unacceptable for us. We want equal and equality. That's all. And then I humbly request all the British people, media, activists, please raise your voice, spread your voice to the media and then your MP, because our ancestor, the Gurkha ancestor, they fought for the Britain, they saved the Britain, they saved the Britain monarchy. They are already gone. But now we are fighting for the equal right. Until we get the equal right, we will keep on fighting.
One of the things I want to say, Dan, is
Your sound is a bit creaky, so I don't know. Maybe you have another device near you, so your sound is not clear.
what mine?
Yeah, yours is okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Dan. Just 1 second, Shane. Dan, we're getting a lot of feedback from your phone. Do you have a headset that you could plug in?
Still not clear your voice.
Do you have a headset headphone that you could plug in?
Yeah, I have headset.
Can we try that, please? I think that will fix the problem. And Sandy, I've got a question if you don't mind asking it for me. It's how many Ghurkas are there in the UK?
The pensioner Ghurkas are in total less than 13,000. When we started raising our voice, that's the time the Ghurka pensioner were 48,000. Now
Right.
less than 14,000.
Sure. Okay, let's see if that's better.
Yeah,
okay, can you hear
it? Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you, and all that crackling noise has gone. So I think that's fixed it. So I'll pass you back over to Shane and to Sandy.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, Dan, I just wanted to say I got up to London a few times to support you.
Yeah, okay.
And there were people from all over the country that had come down. Leeds up in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Neil Kipp He was there as well. I got photographs of us in the pen. Joe and Dion from the PTSD camp down in Somerset. They were there to support you. And one of the most fantastic memories and days of when we came up to support you is you had loads of Ghurka veterans all formed up right by the cenotaph, and we were in behind you. And then we did a march past and a U-turn, and you had your lovely Nepalese locals, and we were just walking past each other like that. You have got thousands in support here, Dan. You know, we're not giving up on you.
Yes,
And,
yes.
And I did send you the photograph of me and my dear friend Sarah with the Ghurka flag. It's in her front. We was in her front garden actually.
Yeah.
She's yet to put that up on the flagpole because she gets the neighbours moaning. However, you know, you have huge support across the country, so I'm proud to be one of them.
Yeah, if there is a dialogue going to start, if they confirm the dialogue date, then I will let you know, everybody. And I think we need to gather outside the Nepal embassy or the Ministry of Defense office. I don't know where. Once they decide the date and the venue, I will let you know. Then I think that's the time you guys need to come up there and then have a support outside the office. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem at all. As long as everybody finds out about it, you know, then we'll come back in our numbers as we did last year.
Yes.
And we'll support you again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind support. And then still we need your support. Once the dialogue will finish, once we receive the equal and equality, I think we're going to win the battle.
Yeah, exactly. I was chatting with Sandy earlier about the various tales about how brave you Gurkhas are, and I was in the Falkland Islands in 1982. It took us a couple of weeks to get down there because it's about 8,000 miles. But what the MOD did, the Ministry of Defence, is they the QE2, the cruise ship. They rammed that full of paratroops, Royal Marines, etc., and all the various regiments needed to go and do the job. And apparently the Argentinians, they knew that they were going to read the signal. That's why they did it. They're like, well, we're well dug in now in the Falklands. We're not bothered. So they sent another signal, knowing that the Argentinians would see it. They said, oh, by the way, we've got hundreds of Gurkhas on there as well. And they're like, what? we don't want to take them on. Yeah. So that had them at panic stations. And I've seen some lovely footage of the Gurkhas on the day, you know, in the Falklands. So, yeah, we're going to just back you up 100% here, mate. You know, personally, I am ashamed of our government. It's as simple as.
Yeah. Okay, is that all?
There is one thing actually.
Hang on, Shane. Sandy, you're muted. You're chatting away, Sandy, but we can't hear you because you've not unmuted yourself.
I know I'm shy tonight. No, but a big thank you to everyone in the in the chat tonight. Great, keep the comments coming in. We'll answer as many as we can. But I have got a question, and it's to Dan.
Yeah.
As we would call them nice, you call them cookeries. You know, where does this word come from? You know, and why was it? You know, cookeries. That's a bit I can't find anything too.
Actually, if you go to old shots, I think there are some cookeries, but How many cookies do you need?
No, I'm not making them. We need a lot to sort this government out. No, it was the name you give to cookeries. Why
Yeah.
what does that mean? What does
Oh, okay. I do understand now. The
Hmm.
kukri is a kind of knife. It's called British people they call Ghurka knife. The kukri is in our word. That is the knife. Kukri means knife, but it is a big size. And then the kukri during the First World War and the Second World War, when there is a run out the ammunition, that's the time the Gurkha soldier they draw the kukri and chop up the head of the enemies. Even in Falkland War, even in Afghanistan War, First World War, Second World War, they draw the kukri, chop out the enemy head, and bring the head, show the commander, okay, this is the enemy's head.
Yeah.
Do you remember the latest was in Afghanistan? One of the Gurkha, he chopped up the enemy's head and he took the head, bring into the commandant's table and then he killed the 13 enemies, single Gurkha soldier using the knife.
Unbelievable. Brilliant.
And he received the gallantry medal from the Queen.
Yeah, because if you go back into history, and it was the British that attacked us, they attacked us, and you kicked our backside, you kicked our backsides. And this is how it came to have the Gurkhas. They knew the Gurkhas, you don't mess with these boys.
I think if you remember the Hitler, the German Hitler, what he said during the World War, he said, "I will not afraid with anyone. Only if there is Gorkha, yeah, I'm afraid with them. They are the bravest of the brave in the world. If Gorkha soldier is coming to fight with us, oh, I will raise the hand." Hitler said that.
Yeah.
Where was it? I seen this one. Where was it? Yeah, there were a comment I've got in here, and it was the word Gurkha. What does that mean?
Gorkha means actually during the Nepal, in Nepal, there is a one district.
Mhm.
And then the first king, Prithvinarayan Shah, he was using some soldier from the Gorkha district. So from the Gorkha district, the soldier spread out all over the Nepal. That's why it's called Ghurka. Actually,
Uh-huh.
Ghurka is the district of the Nepal. One district of the Nepal. Name of the district.
Yeah.
Name of the district.
I had read that myself about that, but it's just for people that want to know. Now
Yeah.
they know. But I mean, wow, Shane, as we were saying there, Shane and I, we were talking today, and I think Shane had a question to ask you about a goat or something. Do you know it, Shane?
Yes, so I was going to say to Dan, apart from the fact that you're all legends anyway, excuse me, I've heard for so many years, what is the secret of the Gurkha goat curry?
that is that is traditional curry. That is traditional curry.
Yeah, I've spoken to
We have.
a few people, and there is no Nepalese or Gurkha restaurant around where I live in Portsmouth, but a few people have enjoyed Nepalese goat curry. They went, "Oh, you ought to try it." And I'm
Yes,
I'm looking to try.
if you go to Aldershot, there are more than 10 Gurkha restaurant. If you go to Fleet, there is a one restaurant. If you go to Farnborough, there are also Gurkha restaurant. If you go to Camberley, there are also Gurkha restaurant. Even in Reading, even in Wembley, yeah, most of that places. Even if you go to Folkestone, I think there also there is a Nepalese restaurant. If you go to Nepalese restaurant, then normally you will have the Gurkha goat curry.
Yeah, well, I know north of the border up here in Scotland. I don't think we've got any. I've never heard of a Gurkha
No,
restaurant.
yeah, there is a Nepalese restaurant in Scotland, so you can have there.
Okay.
Yeah, in Edinburgh, there is a Nepalese restaurant.
I don't know about the Glasgow area. I don't
No,
think so.
I'm not sure in Glasgow, but in Edinburgh, definitely there is.
Well, there's a business. That's a business opportunity for you. You can get one going there. You know, but I have tried goat curry before.
Okay.
That was over in Africa. I had that. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I've never tried the Gurkha curry. That's one thing it'll be. I'll need to try that. I'll need to get a. I'll maybe travel over to Edinburgh sometime just to find
Yeah,
this
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
Hello, Sandy. I saw somebody earlier on Facebook when I put the link out for this show. They mentioned Joanna Lumley. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Yes, Joanna
Can you tell us why?
Lumley. Joanna Lumley's बाउ के बाजे त्यसको Joanna Lumley. Joanna Lumley's grandfather was in first World War. I think First World War. That's the
Okay.
time Joanna Lumley's grandfather saved by the Ghurkas during the war. That's
I see.
why Joanna Lumley is supporting the Ghurkas. Even the 2013, there was a hunger strike in London. That's the time Gandhas Rai was alone, and then Joanna Lumley came there, and she is the one break up the hunger strike. But
That's
there
good.
wasn't a written agreement. That's why both government ignore it. But this time we have a written submitted, written paper. So I hope the British government and the Nepal government cannot delay, cannot lie, cannot ignore this time. So
Okay,
we are very optimistic.
apart from Joanna Lumley, has there been any other sort of high-profile support for you? Has there been any other celebrities or MPs that have come out and spoken to you?
If you go to the government website during the petition debate on November 22, most of the MPs and then they spoke supporting the Gurkhas. They very well spoke, and then they said that they are helping the Gurkhas.
What I will say, Dan, as well, in response to that, because a lot of people, you've got huge respect across our veterans community. We're looking to see justice for you. Excuse me. But
Yeah,
people were asking with reference to Joanna Lumley. This is how corrupt we are over here, right? Because she was a high-profile celebrity, obviously, as we all know.
Yeah.
But she wanted to get back involved when you were on hunger strike, as we came and supported you. And she was told by the Acton community to not get involved or she'll never work again.
Yes, but she was. She didn't say anything during the. There was a railway naming ceremony in June 23rd. That's the time Joanna Lumley was the chief guest, and then she is the one came there, and then I met her personally. Then I told her, okay, Joanna, in 2013, Gyanraj Rai was alone on a hunger strike, but this time, Pushparana Gale, myself, and Gyanraj Rai, we three guys are going to hunger strike. So, will you help us? Will you help us? I asked to her personally. She couldn't answer anything. She just staring on me, and then she didn't say anything. But during the hunger strike, she was in Wales. From the Wales, she tweeted on her Twitter, she said, Gorkha need justice and equal right. That is more than enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
some
it
of
is.
community are giving pressure to her. Don't speak anything. Don't say anything. Yeah, some of communities is still giving pressure to her.
Yeah, that's what happens to a lot of people here.
Yeah,
They're silenced,
yeah. Keep silence.
they're threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know of people. I know of people here in the UK that they've lost their job, their marriages fell apart, they've had their children taken off them. The
yeah,
corruption with our
yeah.
government. People
But
need to wake up and do more research, and instead of sitting in front of a television, do more research and find out the true facts, the things that's happening.
yeah,
Because our government, not just in Westminster, but up here in Scotland, all the governments down Wales, Ireland, they're all corrupt. There's not one politician who can honestly say, I do an honest day's work. And if anyone, these politicians, if they can't support someone in need, then we've got no chance. No
Yeah.
chance whatsoever. And it is disgusting, as I've said earlier there. It's disgusting, it's shocking. You can't even put into words what they are doing to the Gurkhas. I mean, God Almighty, you were giving your life for our country, and yet that's the way they treat you. Wow. If there's not one person on here tonight listening in, it's not shocked with
I
what
think
Dan's telling me.
next time we will have more people, and then I will explain more. What you call more outcome. Once I meet, once we meet our ambassador. So after I meet ambassador, I will let you know all the information by message, or if possible, then we will have this kind of face-to-face meeting again. I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you're more than welcome any Sunday night to come on my show. I know there'll be other people probably
yeah. Then I
wake
will.
up and offer
Yeah,
that support to you.
I will
It's just,
send us a link to my spokesperson. He is a Major Jude, and he can explain more than me. His English is far better than me. He is the negotiator from the Ghurka side. So, yeah, I will give you his contact number. So directly you can contact with him. So he is the negotiator from the Ghurka side.
yeah, because even when you were down at Westminster there, you had gazebos and seats, and they sent the police in to take the seats away from you and take the gazebos down.
Yeah, that's the
That
case. Is
is,
still that's the case. Is still on pending. Maybe some of human rights team wants to register in a equal rights, equal human rights court, but still it is pending. It is on pending. So I don't know when it will go forward. And then, by the way, the police commissioner, she resigned. The Cressida,
yeah.
yeah, she resigned. I don't know who is coming next, but she's the one when she was commanding the Metropolitan Police. That's the time she ordered, and then police came there. Then we complained. She said, "My soldier." Okay, she said, "The police are doing their job, good job." She answered like that. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Shane and Sandy, both of you, giving me this golden opportunity. I hope I can see you next time. I can meet you physically during the dialogue time.
Yeah, it's a privilege honor having you on here tonight. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah,
As I say, we only met a few days back there. We had a wee quick conversation. Now you're on my show tonight. Give me the honour.
yeah.
It's lovely to find out about.
Okay,
Find out some things.
yeah. Thank you very
I do-
much.
No bother, sir. It's an
Yeah,
honour, privilege
yeah.
to have you
Well,
on.
we'll see you soon, Dan, and we're going to
Yeah,
keep
Yeah,
that flag flying for you, okay?
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
But
Thank you. Have a
we'll
nice
keep
day,
it. We'll keep
nice
it.
evening. Have a
No
nice
bother, sir.
evening. Good night. See you next time with the good news.
God bless.
Thank you,
Namaste.
Dan.
Yeah,
Thank you,
namaste.
sir.
Namaste.
Brilliant. We'll keep it going.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, that was Dan the Gurkha man. And if that doesn't shock you, the way these amazing guys have been treated, nothing would shock you. And this is where we can do our part. We can all do our part to give them our support. This is what we're needing, is people like the Gurkhas on our side. We are needing this badly because they're true warriors, true fighters. And if we could get that even with the QUARRIERS warriors, I know I've got that with the QUARRIERS warriors. We're like the Gurkhas. We'll fight to the death. But there are more people needing to wake up and put a wee bit of Gurkha into your life and fight for our rights. The way our children are being treated here is disgusting and shocking. And here tonight, we've heard from a man who put his life on the line, along with his fellow comrades, for us. And our government, you heard with the pension there, that really, I didn't think it was as low as that. I knew it was low, but my God, I didn't think it
Yes.
was that. That is disgusting. It's just like up here in Scotland, the survivors of child abuse, who's now adults, we're fighting for justice. And we've got a government doing exactly the same, putting a price we're only going to give you. It's not about money. This is far from money that I'm talking about here. It's a principle, the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
They tell us, we will tell you. Now, if anyone that's listening in here tonight, if I had to tell you, I want you to jump, you will jump when I say jump. You would tell me to go and take a jump. You would definitely do that. But you're allowing governments to do it. Rule your life, rule. And the more these governments know they can rule your life, the more they'll bring in to destroy you. I seen a thing there, and it really pissed me right off. Is we've got many pensioners in our country, many struggling, doing without food to heat their house, or doing without doing without food, to heat their house, or vice versa. But yet, every one of these government ministers in the UK, and I mean every one of them, gets £3,500 per year for a heating allowance. That's what they get. We don't get that. These same government ministers all around the UK, they can claim they've got their wage, that's secured. When they retire, they get their pensions. Most of these MPs have got 2 or 3, 4, 5 houses. I think Nicola Sturgeon's got 9 houses. 9. Now, all these houses, they've got to be protected. So the security guards there to protect them, that comes out. We pay for that. We pay for that. Everything they do, we pay. It's our money, tax money, money that we put in. That all goes to them. We get nothing in return. And how dare any MP turn around and go, Britain is really good, especially Nicola Sturgeon. Our health service is second to none. We are really coping and we're doing well. Bullshit, Nicola Sturgeon. I was stranded 40 miles from my house. I wasn't allowed to make a phone call for the hospital to get me home. I was not given an ambulance to get to hospital. I was not given one home. And they wouldn't let me make a bloody phone call to try and get me home. This is how bad our country is. How dare Nicola Sturgeon say everyone's rosy in Scotland? It's far from rosy. And if Nicola Sturgeon thinks we're all rosy, I'll give her an easy few weeks. She can come and live my life. Do it for a year, Nicola. You come, live my life for 1 year, and I'll live yours. And we'll see who gets on. But one thing, Nicola, you don't take your bank account or your fancy pennies with you. You live off what we're living off it. Because the pension here is disgusting and shocking for our elderly. And as I was talking to Sean earlier, and I'll give you a minute to come in, Sean. But Sean and I, we were talking earlier, and I was telling him, when I was a young working man, the government come up with a scheme. They called it a superannuation scheme. And we were all told that if we paid so much into this scheme, our employer would match what we paid in. So that when we retire, we would have a state pension and we would also have this extra money that it would give us a good life. They say if something sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And that was.
Yeah.
When I retired there, I got my state pension. The superannuation money that I paid in to get a pension every week or every month, sorry, that money is taken off my state pension. I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, today, anyone who's working, I can't remember, they've given it a fancy name. You know, took away this superannuation, gave it another name. But anyone who's working today, they've got to, Alona, you've got to pay into this. You've got to pay into it. And it's the same story. When you retire, you'll have your pension, you'll have that, and you'll live a happy life. No, you will not. All you are doing is paying into the system twice. Now, I started getting really involved in this and finding out why. Why would they do that? And the main reason is there's not enough money in the kitty to pay out the pensioners. So our young who is working just now, that money you are paying into this scheme, thinking that you're getting a better life, is actually coming to me through my pension, my state pension. That's where the money's coming from. So when you retire, you'll not get that money. You will get your state pension, yes. But the young again will be paying to keep you, because our country, the amount of debt we're in is disgusting. It will never, ever be paid back. Never be paid back. We're on billions and billions of pounds to countries.
Well,
They talk about Great Britain. Sorry a minute, Shane, but we talk about Great Britain. Maybe in years gone by. Maybe in years gone by it was a Great Britain. But it's bye-bye Great Britain. We're on our arse. We're on our arse. No arse, no buts. I'll let you carry on, Shane, sorry.
No, I just want to say, following on from what Dan Gurung was saying, you know, being a fellow veteran myself, I remember one of my very first demos. I travelled from Portsmouth up to Nottingham. That was a demo march in support of our children. Anyway, the police thought they were being clever, kettled us in somewhere. Well, unbeknown to the police, you know, there's ex-Royal Marines, there's paratroops. These people have served in Northern Ireland. You know, riot control is part of what they were trained to do. So that got smashed anyway. The police kettle. David Swift. He will be a brilliant. Oh, hello, Al. Swifty. Yeah, Alan knows him. He got smashed over the head as they broke the kettle, type thing, you know. And I'm thinking, oh my God! And the police in London, they're as bad, you know. But what really hacks me off is the injustice of everything, not just in England, but in Ireland, Scotland, Wales as well, you know, which is why I'm looking forward to Cardiff, the end of April. And boy, then the Kimberley and the PCP Wales girls would have took on the Welsh government and said, we're not having all this sexual education in the schools. And it'll be very, very interesting to see how they get on. But I wish them well, you know.
Yeah. Well, good evening, Alan. How you doing, my boy?
Hello, mate. Hello, Puggers. How you doing?
Not bad.
All right.
I had
Now,
to bring you in.
Let me just show you this, mate. If I can get it, because it's all reverse, isn't it, on camera?
Yeah, I've got one. I just took it off because I've got the log burner going. And I was so hot, I took my my hoodie off because I've got exactly the same hoodie, and that's what I was wearing as well. And what I did is on the back of it, there's an emblem that's done. And what I did for Joe was made badges out of that. What's on the back.
Oh, okay.
So I sent them to Joe. I made them. I paid for them myself. And I said, that's a donation from me to you. Do whatever you like with them. If you sell them for whatever you want. I don't know if I made 100 or something like that. I said, sell them at either £2 or £3 or £4 or £5, whatever you want to. And whatever money that you make on it goes to the PSD camp, whether it be, now let me just say this, and I want to say this before anybody jumps on, whether it be, right, for the upkeep of the place, to help run the place, for the bills and stuff, because, you know, what people don't realise, a lot of electricity goes into probably keeping some of that stuff running. And there's all sorts of bits and pieces there. And at the end of the day, right, I think they do a brilliant job. So, you know, I've been down there and everybody makes you so welcome. I've known Joe a few years, to be truthful. I've known Joe for quite a long time. And it was a couple of years ago that I spoke in Nottingham, and I stood next to Joe, Dion, and the soldiers when people were calling my name. So that was a few years ago, and when we were in Nottingham. So I've known Joe, both of them very, very well for a long time. And if I can help, I'm not a millionaire. If I can do my bit to help people, I try and do my best. But at the end of the day, you know, we've all got limited resources, but we all do our best to try and do our little bit, whatever it is, whether it be in words, whether it be in some other form. We are kind of like bonded by the good people that we know and the brotherhood that we've got within the groups that we know.
Yeah, brilliant. Well said, mate.
So
it's a beautiful place, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's lovely. I enjoyed it. Went down in my camper van. I stayed the night. I'm down in April. I might actually. I'm going to try. I'm going to arrange something for the kids to stay here if Kathy isn't too brilliant. I've got to find out what happens this week. I've got to speak to the doctors tomorrow. She's still in hospital. Tomorrow's, I think, 4th week. And so for anybody listening and is concerned for Kathy. I mean, I had over 300 well wishes. Now that says it all, doesn't it? When you get 300 well wishes, and the thing about it was, I liked every single one of them for the simple reason I was showing the respect they took out to show Kathy poorly in hospital was my way of saying thank you and ticking every one of them with a like. And the thing is, she's making progress. She's still on a lot of lines, intravenous lines. She's got bruises all over her arms and various places of the body where her veins aren't very good. And trying to find a vein, you know what they're like. They will push needles in all over the place until they find something. But her voice wasn't very good tonight. And yesterday I was almost in tears because I thought, what they done to you? Because I couldn't speak to her. So I phoned up the hospital to speak to somebody. And phoning up hospitals, God, it's just like a buck pushing exercise. And it's like she's on sort of like super trolley supermarket dash with like a trolley dash all around the hospital. It's like her bed's been wheeled all over the place. She must have been on every single ward in that bloody hospital. She started off on 3, she went to 4, she ended up in 5, then she went to HDU, then she went to 5 again, now she's on 6. And then you wonder to yourself why people catch things in hospitals. Because I don't think they have much control over clinical, what's the word I'm looking for here? Because you can see why things spread in hospitals and people catch things. Because it's like it is. It's just like we haven't got a room on this ward. But if you find a bed and you're treating somebody, why don't you keep them on? It just doesn't make sense why you push them around 4 or 5 different floors.
Yeah.
Because infection will be transmitted one way or the other. So you're at risk in some respects and more at risk by going into hospital than you probably are out. But at the end of the day, I couldn't give Kathy the help she needed. And I was doing everything for her at the end. I was putting her insulin into her stomach. I was putting her peg feed into her stomach. I did something with Dave and Clive, and I showed the list on the cupboards that the things I had to do. And Dave said, I'll take my hat off to you with what you do. A lot of people couldn't cope with what you've gone through. But at the end of the day, it's my wife.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, yeah.
And they say that for better, for worse, in sickness and in health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was just thinking out. Sorry, Sandy. I was just going to say, I know Alan's had Dave and Clive on their show as guests. They would be great, but just to forewarn you, Dave Swifty does swear a lot and he doesn't give a shit. Has Alan found out?
Oh, well, I'll have my ding dongs with Dave because, like, Dave is one of them people, if he's got something to say, he says it. And he sometimes, I don't know if he's clicking all at the same time or if too much is going on in his head. Now, I love him to bits, but sometimes he can be a bit probably impersonal, if that's the word I'm looking for. But you either love him or you hate him. He's either good, bad, or indifferent. What I like about the guy, right, is he did a lot in the Ghurkas pen in London. He did a hell of a lot of work down there. Pen. And I was down there on a couple of occasions and the Ghurkas honoured me with one of their books. And that is a great honour for the Ghurkas to have done for me, personally speaking. And I go all over the country and I represent and I go to other people and show respect to other groups and other people who've shown it, like I did with Sandy on a couple of occasions. I've been to Scotland. I've just tonight, now I'm going to say this publicly, I know the PCP girls are struggling and I made £100 donation tonight to the PCP girls of Wales for their legal costs.
Good.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So I've done that tonight. I said to Kimberly, phone me and I'll transfer some money over to your to the bank account, so on and so forth. There are ways of doing it. But at the end of the day, Kimberly stood by me from day one. And those people that stand by you, you have to respect. Utterly, totally respect. Because, you know, you meet people and you think they're okay. And then down the line, they turn on you. And there's a few people that do that. And you think to yourself, why do they do that? It's kind of like, you know, like I put a post up about Shirley Moat. And I said, she's like a fucking spider. Once she gets you in a web, you know, a poison and a venom is fucking ridiculous to what she tries to do to survivors to this day. And that's all she's trying to do. And she's trying to make it sound. And there are good people that got YouTube channels that get their channels taken down. And arseholes like her, right, still manage to keep their fucking channels when they are cyberbullying. It's more hate speech and do some of the things. Just to me, and Sandy will back me up on this one, she is another Angela Power Disney. And do I need to say any more about her, Sandy?
That's poison. That's a poison woman, that. She's never took my offer up to come on the show, or better still, come to Glasgow and meet me. She's never took that up. I want her to do that because...
But this is what they don't understand, Sandy. They don't understand by their bullying, by their constant attacks of people, it could put people over the top. Now, we know people suffer from different types of stress in life, and we know all about the PSD camp, and we know what the veterans have gone through. Now, a lot of veterans, what people don't realise, right, Joe Average doesn't know, look, they share the same fucking room, the same fucking breakfast table, the same fucking bedroom. They share the same fucking uniform. They share the same arms. There's people that they've stood next to in battle that have been blown to fucking pieces or had their lives taken. Can you imagine the psychological damage that must do to some of our veterans? And people do not see it. Just do not see what our veterans, in the government name, to be there in the first fucking place, right, actually go through.
Well, that's true, you know. I had that, as I've mentioned many times before, and it was just a girl. She had a fallout with my daughter. It's a girl named Debbie. I've got two daughters. I've got Debbie and Lynn. Jane and I adopted these girls. And Debbie, it was a girl she had a fallout with. So the girl thought she would get smart and really try to hurt, and she was doing everything in her power to try and hurt Debbie. So she knew if she got on to me, she would start. And she put up this thing on Facebook that she was with a hunters team. And they put up that I hadn't been in Quarriers Orphan Homes, they'd fully investigated me, I was a lying such and such. All I wanted was money. Now, anybody that knows me, I've stated from day one, I do not want money. I want a written apology. One from the Scottish Government and one from Quarriers Orphan Homes. I got my written apology from the Scottish Government. I'm grateful for that. And I've gave my word I wouldn't go after the Scottish Government now or sue them or do anything. The only way I can get this written apology off Quarriers is if I do take legal action against them, which I'll need to do. There's no answer. But I will get money. But there's a certain guy in my life, a young vet, and he's seen things he shouldn't have had, and it affected him.
Yeah, exactly
and
what I was saying.
Hell, and that's where my money's going. That's where I'll go. I don't want it. And I give my word on that. I'll make sure that young boy's okay. You know,
and if I can just come back, Sandy, to what Alan said. I was in the Navy when the Falklands kicked off in 1982, right? We were still on our way down. It took weeks because you have to wait for your supply ship. You can just race down there, but you're going to run out of fuel. So you can only go as fast as your supply ship. So it takes about 3 weeks, right? We were still on our way down. This is just one horrific story of how it affects you. You should never see this, but that's the life of a serviceman or woman, you know. And one of the ships had actually been bombed by an Exocet. However, this one, they'd managed to save it with a damage control and firefighting. But it was the husband of a woman who I used to work with. I can't remember the name of the ship, but he was about 3 decks down at action stations. It's all closed up, you know, and his mate in the explosion got decapitated.
Wow.
His respirator on. Well, this one I'm on about, he lost his respirator. So the poor bastard, what he had to do was take his best mate's head out of the respirator. Can you imagine the mess? And he had to put that on himself to get, because the captain had already said abandon ship, you know, or whatever it was. And that man is messed up.
Mm.
He survived, but to have to do that to save himself, you know, when you're in there, you are literally brothers in arms. Like Adam said, and so quaintly right, is you live with each other, sleep with each other, not in that sense, obviously, but, you know,
Same
we
doors.
were weeks and weeks and weeks at sea on patrol. And to have to do that to save your own life, and that's one of your brothers in arms. And once again, the ordinary Joe public, with no disrespect, they'll never know that.
Yeah, well said, Pugs. It was well said, because like I said earlier on, you know, you can't, it's some people, if you say average, some people can get to our age and never see death, right? And you can't, I mean, when we had all the problem with everything in this country is so fucking politically wrong. Sandy was talking about the 20% of debt this country is in debt with, right? Say 20%, but that 20% is only the Bank of England.
Yeah.
Right? What other fucking mess there is unreal, right? And this country will be paying for it for the rest of our fucking days. There won't be a recovery. I can't see any recovery coming at all, or anything fucking good gonna happen for at least 40 fucking years. If we're still about in 40 fucking years, if they decide to have a nuclear war and kill the whole fucking world. But I think in the end, I think we will destroy ourselves within.
Mm-hmm.
Or the politicians will
Yeah.
do it for.
It's fucking coming that way. It looks like that way. We've not got long to go, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we know. Look, it's a political game. It's almost like the fucking Suez Canal fucking crisis. The Russians and Putin knows how fucking weak we are. He knows how many fucking cutbacks we've made in our fucking armed services. Not only the fucking RAF, the Navy, but the fucking soldiers and the military on the ground, right?
Yeah.
He knows what cutback. We've got about 70 fucking. We'll be lucky to get 70,000 soldiers. You know, in this country, where we had something like fucking, I don't know, was it 150,000 in, you know, in standby?
Yeah, I mean, if you take when Trump was in power, a lot of folk hated that man. But if you look at that man done, he was in Korea. I mean, fucking Korea's another country to watch. But he was in there trying to get peace. He was over in Russia trying to get peace. He was doing it. And he wasn't like for that. Because if we're at war, then the rich are making money. When we're at peace, we don't make fucking money. You know, these rich guys.
I think you hit that now, you've nailed that straight on the head. Because at the end of the day, he's not everybody's cup of tea, Trump. But I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people don't fucking know it. They think they know all these things. They think they know all the answers, but they fucking don't. Trump averted, right, a lot more fucking crises that could have happened in the world than actually fucking any other serving president.
Yeah, because even with him with child abuse, you've got to salute that man for that. Because Where's our MPs? What are they doing for the kids that's being abused tonight, tomorrow, the next night? They're doing fuck all. Because, as you said a while back, Alan, this is so true. Years ago, drugs was the thing they were making money from. And if you look at Theresa May, her husband, he's one of the biggest fucking marijuana growers in the UK. And so, enough of that bit. But anyway, as you were saying, drugs used to be the in thing. Today it's children. Children are money. And it is so true that as well. It's so true. But getting back with this with Trump, he was bringing peace. He was bringing it. And when we're at peace, they don't make money. Because most of these big, massive, fat places, bombs are making, it's all these people owns it. There's a post I'm going to put up my Facebook site later. I can't remember the figures. I've got it down there somewhere. And it states out how many television companies there are in the UK that we can get, channels we can get. How many newspapers there are and everything else about it. And that's owned by 6 companies, only 6.
Yeah.
And they're all massive, beggar millionaires, the people owns these.
Yeah.
And they're all to do with the fucking Tory party. I was trying not to swear tonight, I've ruined it. That's you, Merrick, coming on my show.
yeah, it's me. Fucking started already. Let me just say something. Let me just say something on that, Sandy. Right? Do you know how much Keir Starmer is actually worth?
I tried to
Keir Starmer is worth nearly £8 million. He is the leader of the Labour Party in opposition. He's never fucking been in opposition since the fucking Tories have been in power. He's agreed to everything they fucking said. He comes out and makes a speech. Now, the only thing I like, Boris Johnson's worth 2.2 million, which is not as much as, but they're millionaires. Yeah. Most of our politicians are millionaires, right? They've got far more wealth and far more money than most of the electorate, right? And the poorer electorate, should we say. The north to south divide, the rich to poor divide has always been there and will always fucking be there. Let me just turn around and say about Keir Starmer first, right? Keir Starmer was the CEO at the Crown Prosecution Service, the Chief Executive Officer. He, like Chrysanda Dick, right, were the overall saying at the sway. In the Charles Mendes case, Chrysanda Dick gave the fucking order for her officers to shoot Mendes on that fucking Stockwell tube train, right? She's gone now, but it's not just about fucking that. If people look at a program, I know it's not everybody's love and cup of tea, is a thing called The Line of Duty, right? And it was made by BBC, and it was one of the best things the fucking BBC. It is all about Chrysanda Dick. It's also about someone we know very, very close. It's about John Wedger. It's John Wedger's case to a fucking T. This guy was a highly decorated police officer that was so successful in his fucking job, his bosses tried to fucking shut him down. He was too successful, and he was fucking bringing some of these, and it was all about money. He was bringing some of these money cases fucking down, and he was getting results. And he got rewarded for it in one hand and castigated in the other. Right? It's the same as Chrysanda Dick, right? She's just got paid off. It was a payoff, right? Yeah. She's going to get a fucking £200,000 pension every fucking year for the rest of her life. 200. What about our fucking pensioners?
Yeah.
Right? What about our veterans? What about the fucking people who have actually done something with their fucking lives, and puggers and people like that, and veterans that have served this country in armed conflict and seen some of the things that we've talked about? She's seen fuck all, diddly squat. She's sat on her fucking ass giving orders. That's all she's done. And I'll tell you something. We talked about the tunnels. She knows all about the grooming gangs. She knows all about this. You've got the fucking Sarah Everard case in Clapham Common. You've got the war-based case. 75 fucking victims in that. Jimmy Savile, 500 victims in that. Do you know why nothing's ever fucking done about it? Because it's fucking right to the very, very top, and they're corrupt and complicit, the fucking lot of them. Sorry about that. Run there. Sorry about that.
And if I can just say, Alan, no, well said, mate. It needs to be said because it's going on. But just going back to the Falklands War.
Yeah, 1982.
Yeah. And I mentioned this when I was up in Glasgow speaking, and I said that I'd served on HMS Glasgow, a Type 42 destroyer.
Back in a minute, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, I left that before the Falklands kicked off. Anyway, that was redirected.
Yeah.
Down to the Falklands. First one to get done was HMS Sheffield, which was also a Type 42 destroyer.
Was Galahad one of them?
Galahad was, yeah, it wasn't a warship as such. It was more like a troop carrier.
Yeah.
But many years later, I mean, we were trying to get HMS Falmouth going up in Chatham Dockyard, you know, totally different type of ship. But the 4 ships we lost down there, I mean, it's a French-made Exocet missile.
Yeah.
Basically a 2-ton fucking exploding bomb.
Yeah.
Well, I was speaking to a dockyard welder many years later.
Some of them were very, very successful.
Yeah.
A lot of damage.
The Glasgow, that had been fucking bombed by an Exocet, but luckily enough, because I knew them all, I'd only just left. They'd gone in one side of the ship and gone straight out the other side. So there was a fucking great big hole in it. And luckily enough, it was through the auxiliary engine room where there's loads of space. So it didn't have anything to hit, basically. It just in one side, out the other.
TNT didn't have a chance to go off.
That's it. But do you know what? What really fucking annoys me, and now I've ruined my swearing as well, Sandy, with my love of my fellow brothers-in-law.
Sandy Smith's terrible. I start swearing when I see Sandy Smith. He's a fucker for it.
I'll tell you a quick story here, Shay. I'll tell you a quick story. If
I can just quickly say, Sandy, I've never been a fan of the French, but even though we were fighting down there, and we were the second wave of ships in to relieve the lads, the French were still selling the fucking Argentinians Exocet missiles.
Yeah.
Bastards. Yeah. Like you say, all to do with money.
There's always been a loathing. I don't care what anybody fucking says. There's always been a loathing. I don't know what it is, but we've always, you can go to the Simon Memorial, fucking right back. We've never, ever, if anybody says we love the French or we get on with the French, it's a fucking lie. Because we've never got on with the French. I don't get what anybody says. You look at the redcoats and the fucking lot of it, mate, and the amount of conflict that we fighting over the years and battles that we fighting, at the brunt of a lot of it has been the fucking French.
Yeah.
Even in our colonial history, we've had skirmishes and things that haven't come out in the limelight with the French on some of our colonial islands.
Yeah. Because even up here in Scotland with the French, I mean, it was a wee fucking French poof. I better watch what I'm saying. That's that.
I've got to
admit, we can't be taken off the air and me fucking in prison. No,
yeah, you're a fucking naughty boy, you are. I can't. I'm on my phone, so I can't see the chat room. So a lot of things that I probably said and a lot of answers are probably in the chat room. I can't engage, although I do like to engage with the chat room because the guys in the chat room are the program is probably us coming on and speaking. And I want to say a big hi to everybody in the chat room because most of them I will probably know anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments coming in wishing Kath well.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. There's some brilliant people in the chat room, and I'll be coming back to Wake Up in a not too distant future. But look, my main priority has always been Kathy.
got to be.
Yeah.
Always will be. And this started way back in October, right? And she's been hospitalised twice now. And I wasn't at my best. I must admit, I was not at my best. And I'll say one thing: this is nothing to do with Jason, right? This was me. And I can throw a fucking wobbly every now and then, and I tend to be a bit off. And sometimes I do have my say. I don't agree with everything everybody says, but there again, I don't expect people to agree with everything I say. I've said a lot on your show tonight, Sandy. I don't know what they're saying in the chat room, but a lot of what I've seen in life, and when we're talking to the likes of Puggers, and he talks about the fucking Falklands War, when we talk about history, at our age, we know a lot of this anyway, because we've lived it.
Yeah, I see one of the comments there is going, the boys are back in town. Yeah, the three amigos are here. You know, we used to be the Magnificent Seven, but now we're down to three, so we're the three amigos.
You know what I mean? I miss the chat room, and I miss the guys in the chat room, because I loved the bit about the show where you could go into the chat room and look and try and respond with people in it. Because you had Spear Thrower, you had Charles and Spencer, you had fucking Joe, you had fucking Roy, Coleman, all them people that were in there are probably in there now. Because I noticed a few of them in earlier when I did write some stuff up earlier on. And I thought, no, fuck it, I'll go on and say hi to everybody, just to let them know I'm still about, and just to say thank you to everybody for the well wishes, for the respect they've shown me. And at the end of the day, you know, if we don't do what we do, you know, who else is going to do it? Who's going to stand up there and actually be counted? We've got to put our head above the parapet. We've got to stand up and got to speak out, and we've got to do what we do. And we do it because we're fucking good at what we do. In the sense, the experience in itself is nothing other than true.
I see the female version of this is on tonight is Jackie Cook. Hi Jackie, that's a dog's bollocks, love.
Jackie who?
Jackie will know what I mean by that. I do see a comment here. Sandy, you're amazing tonight. You've not said a bad word today, are two bad men. It's terrible with the language.
Yeah, I do apologise. Yeah, I can't help it. I suffer from. I do. I suffer from fucking Tourette's.
That was a comment by Sandy Smith.
That's Swifty's excuse.
They were one night saying I was talking to Alan. I think it was just when I got to know Alan at first. We're talking away, and his wife Kath. His wife Kath goes, listen to your language, Alan. She's getting him into bother. She goes, listen to your language, Alan. She goes, there's that man. He's not even says one bad word tonight. But I think it took her about another couple of weeks, and then she knew. Alan had been taught. You know, it's I blame Alan Berra, you know. I didn't know. I didn't know what a bad word was. I had to look it up in the dictionary. And then oh my God, that's what Alan's teaching me.
I learned my band language. I'm sorry to say this. I was a good guy, right? I've been Mr. Perfect most of my life, right? If you believe that, you fucking believe anything. But
you're lying.
You are a fucking bad influence on me.
But it's funny, you know, when Alan and I get together, I don't think we can put a sentence together with it. Fuck, you know.
You know what though, Shane? We've sat in the same room, you know, over a pint and that, and we've sat and talked to the cows come home. And do you know what? When you actually look somebody in the eye and have that eye contact, you know straight away, right?
Yeah.
You watch people and they look all around you, look up and down, and they're not even fucking interested in what you're saying because they're not paying attention, right? And they're like a curveball. But when you talk to some survivors, if you look at them and they look you in the eye, you know they're genuine.
Oh, yeah. That earlier today, I had a bit of migraine headache, so he's into bed. I'm
Yeah,
lying
I've been suffering from a hell lot of headaches. When
there. Well,
I got, I did get COVID, and so did Kathy get COVID. That's what ended up putting her in hospital, and they put her on steroid, and she did blow up quite badly. In that picture where I showed her in bed, she was quite blown up. But it's the steroids that have brought her back.
yeah.
Nothing
Well,
else. Not oxygen, not fucking COVID jabs or fucking anything else. You know, at the end of the day, I've had something like a very bad flu or cold, right? Now, that's all it's been. I was cold, I had a tremble, and I sat in front of the log fire one night. I could not get warm. It's been awkward, you know, like now, it's awkward if the house is empty. When your partner's not with you, you know, with you, Sandy, you know, Jane's in the next room. Here, I know Kathy's miles away. And it's that psychological thing that kind of you're aware of all the time. It doesn't go away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just one wee thing, as I was talking about a sore head, Jane woke me up and told me, she goes, there are 2 police guys in there, they're wanting to work with you. So Jane had invited them and I went through. Oh, the fuck have I done now? So tell me sit down, and that one sat down, one thing. So I'm watching the one that's standing up. Now my brother was in the police, and he always told me, he goes, watch the one that stands. He's the one that's taking everything in. So I'm watching him. And the one that's sitting down, he goes, he goes, we had a bit of a complaint put in about you. He goes, but there's nothing we can do. We can't press charges or something. Oh, so what's this about? My ex had phoned the police to tell them, right, this shows you how much police time's wasted. My ex had phoned them up to say that I had on Facebook that I was referring to her as Satan's daughter. Fucking Satan's daughter. And I stand by my words, you know, I stand by them. But my son, my ex, that's another story for another day. They did us wrong. My true friends know my story. They know it's true. But my son, he'll not come in and apologise for what he done, but he'll go down and park further down the road so that he's in the corner and he can look into my living room window. So I was telling the police about this. I goes, he's stalking me. I goes, I see him maybe twice a week, you know, down there. And what I do is I'll get my blinds and I fly, you know, I'll open shut them open so that he knows that I can see him, you know, because the light's flashing on and off. And then that's when he drives up the street.
Wow.
But I know I'm being watched on Facebook. I know I'm being stalked. But
yeah, I get that. You know what I'm doing on Facebook all the time. It's like a window.
You know, no, I don't give a shit. You know, say what you want about me as long as it's the truth. You know, but my ex, with this carry on with quarries and all that, she knows I'm coming into money and I know she wants it. You know, she's not getting it. It's going to somebody else. Ha ha ha.
Let me just say a couple of things because you're going to be going in a minute.
I am going to be going in a minute.
Hang on, can I just say something? Puggo, brilliant flag, and love to see her when you see her from me.
Yeah, she wants one of these hoodies, Al. And if I can just say as well, we had Robert Sproul up with us in Glasgow.
Yeah.
We've now got a Welsh boxing champion with us in Cardiff.
Yeah, Reese,
yeah. Lovely geezer.
Yeah, no, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got 10 minutes left. I'm off at quarter
just
to.
Say, I don't know if John's been in touch with you, but John wants to ring you because he's doing what he's done. He's got, I don't know if you remember, John got a old bike once. He done the bike up.
And I heard about that. I heard about what he's going to do. Brilliant.
Right, he's got a bike. It's from when I was born, 1955. He's going to do it up and he's going to cycle from down south all the way up to Quarriers in Scotland, stopping at loads of different places, children's homes on the way, wherever he stops. And start at, say, somewhere like Beach Home, and he's going to go to various, and he's going to end it at Quarriers, and it's going to be like a sponsored thing when he walked the towpaths of the canals down to Bristol from London. Do you remember when he done that?
Yeah. That old bike of yours, is he taking the stabilisers off it?
No, you don't change, do you, you fucker?
Pardon?
You don't change, you fucker, do you?
Nah. What did he say? A leopard can't change its spots. That's me.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Puggers? Did you hear what he said? Fucking stabiliser, cheeky bastard.
Yeah. I mean, one little memory that, well, one of fantastic memories that sticks when we were up in George Square. I've got some George Square family staying in me and Sarah's hired motorhome in Cardiff, you know. And Reese is going to pop in for a venison sausage.
Oh, the breakfast sounds lovely. I like a bit of black pudding. Sandy was going to get me some.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you know the Spears is coming, Sandy.
Sunday. The girls aren't coming on tonight, so you've got all night.
Sorry there.
The PCP girls, they're not on tonight. You've got all night. You can carry on.
Oh, brilliant. I wish I'd have known that. That's good then. I'm sorry to know the girls are not on. But just a wee quick one, and it's with Reese. He's put up a wee notice here. Cardiff for our kids' safety. I'll be back by then, so that's good. We've got a boxer on our side. I was talking to Shane earlier, Alan. I've got something planned for Wales. I'll talk to you later about it.
No problem, brother. No problem at all. I love Shane. It's brilliant. And Sarah, fucking good friends of mine anyway. So at the end of the day, Reese, good guy. And yeah, he's been through fucking shit as well. So, you know, I think, like we said, I think we're all, a lot of us are from the same cookie fucking jar.
Because I do hope and I pray that Cass okay and you can bring a wee holiday up to Wales and be with us.
Yeah, I keep saying that she's improving, but you know, there's a little bit of a hurdle and a little bit of way to go before I'm happy. Look, and I said this when I was talking to fucking somebody else. You know, where is practically responsible if we can get Kathy walking from the settee here to the bathroom and to the bedroom. She can use the commode all night long, for all I'm concerned. And when there's days that she doesn't feel too good, she doesn't have to get up. But I keep saying to her, you've got to start asking the physio to try and get you to be moving about a bit, because she's been in bed since before Christmas. And I said to her, you know, if you don't, I know it's very, very difficult to say anything to anybody without upsetting them. You know, like I said to her, you know, you've got to use your legs or lose them. You know, you've got to move about or get moving. Spear's gone now. He should have stayed on.
I should have stayed on. You're more than welcome to come back on.
If I can just say as well, lads, I mean, we all three of us, we were up in George Square, right? Yeah, I'm going to be putting up part of the George Square family in our motorhome. But going back to cycles, do you remember that fucking dopey cunt who turned up giving it all the fucking large?
Oh, yeah, on the bike. Yeah.
How we never got smacked, I'll never know.
Yeah, I think it'd have been a few years ago. I would have just fucking lumped him.
Yeah.
But the
I don't
thing
know
is,
the last questions twice. I would have just turned around and dinked him in the fucking side of the head.
yeah,
I mean, if I
yeah.
go, I would have gone fucking banged him once, big time.
I was like that myself. I felt like that. But the thing is, if any one of us had hit that guy, that would have finished us. No,
Bill was standing right next to us, and they did fuck all. But at the end of the day, if you did go to do something to him, you'll be the first one fucking nicked. He can shout to the fucking cows come home, and he can say all the things, horrible things in the world, and yet they don't touch him. It's the same old.
But it did. I mean, we just weren't attacked once. We had that guy coming in the bike. He turned up twice. Then we had that young guy behind the cenotaph with either his wife or girlfriend shouting to legalise paedophile. We all deserved it. That really did get me. And it was Joe Blair that pulled me back, and Bobby went away up the road to have a wee word with him. I'm not just right. Keep back for there. No,
there's a guy in London. I don't know if you know Gavin Malone. The guy in London called Gavin Malone, he's almost like a fucking target. The old
He
Bill,
is.
every time they fucking see him, he end up either getting fucking nicked, and it, bless him, he doesn't give in, he don't surrender.
Mhm.
He tells them to fuck off and everything. He's been nicked more times than had fucking peas in the play. He don't give a shit. He just fucking tells, oh, fuck off, get out of my face.
And,
Don't get me wrong. We had a good turnout in Glasgow. The only
ya?
thing, yeah, when we were up in Glasgow, well, in
Well,
September.
when we were there, you mean?
Yeah, aye, when we
Oh,
brought
yeah,
up the Warriors,
Yeah.
we had a good turnout, but we could have done with more people from Scotland. That was
Yeah.
bad. But the thing is, when we go to Cardiff, we are bringing an army from Scotland with us this time. They're all coming on board. And I am looking forward to.
I just don't pug because he's got enough black pudding.
Aye.
Well,
Sausage for Alan.
Al, we're stopping off in a New Forest to get venison, sausage, etc. But
Oh, right.
if I can just relay this funny story, I'm sure you was there to Sandy, but Swifty again, absolute fucking nut job. November the 5th.
We know that he's a fruit fucking loop. His
Parliament
favourite word is
Square.
nut. I think he's a fucking nut.
He turned up with them fireworks on his back. They looked like fucking rocket launchers.
I know.
And, then he wondered why he's
He
getting
had
fucking
the
nicked.
samurai mask, didn't he? And it looked like he had a fucking samurai sword sticking out. He put them. Well, Dave Wincher and Mikey Reynolds were on the bus with us, right? And
Yeah,
it fucking, I don't know if it was Mikey Reynolds or Dave Wincher. They were putting him down his fucking back. He was saying, put him down. And people looking at him on the fucking bus, they could see all this shit. And he's walking around fucking Parliament Square as if he didn't give a fuck. And I said to him, sit down here until it gets fucking dark, otherwise you're going to get fucking nicked. I'll be back in 5 minutes, he said. And that's when he got fucking half-inched.
It was that as well.
He's some character.
He is an absolute funny fucker. I tell you what, he's got so many different disguises, so many different masks and faces. I did find, I must admit, and I've got to say this, when he'd done that thing when them girls came, and I don't know what it was because they thought it was a talent competition and he was singing. I don't know if you saw it, Buggers. Did you see it, Shane? Where he was talking to the girls, and the mother got involved and said, "Do you want to see my titties and all that?"
Oh yes, they were trying to fit him up, weren't they?
They were trying to fit him up, and that did trigger me a little bit. I thought, how can the parents do this? It was seeming like they was having a piss up with their fucking teenage kids and getting them into a fucking stupor. The whole house was fucking wrecked in the sense that they were off their heads, right? But the mother was the despairing bit about it. She was fucking terrible. She was the instigator to a lot of it and trying to entrap Dave. Now, it did trigger me. I didn't like it. No. I did not like that at all. I found it horrible. And I thought, Dave, whatever you do, be careful because you will get entrapped in this shit. Just be careful of what you do. And I hope he doesn't go down the line of having this type of thing where I don't know how the teenagers got onto his site anyway. Whether it's through TikTok. And I think TikTok is for younger people myself. That's my own personal opinion, right? The teenagers love all that shit. But at the end of that, and he's good what he does. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nothing about him. But that did trigger me.
Yeah. Well, he actually said, because the father, and this was fucking 2 o'clock in the morning now, if you remember.
Yeah.
That you got to be pretty fucking switched on to catch Swifty out, and he knew all this anyway. But I was reading through all the comments, and then the father jumped on.
Yeah.
Trying to accuse him of all sorts. We know as
mad
as Swifty is.
Mush, I know you, didn't
I? He even said to him, because the father was saying, "Oh, you're trying to, be a pedo with my daughters and all the rest of the fuck." He said, "Here's my address. Come round. We'll fucking sort it out."
Yeah, that's right.
Swifty is not like that. We know that.
Oh, it was that Jackie. I just flashed up, Sandy. It was that Jackie. I know who you mean now. Jackie. She's a fucking done a nutter and all. She speaks fucking from the art, and she says what it's fucking all about. And she won't hold back and her F's and blinding.
We'll get, who we got? We'll get on the chat. We've got Shane Kelly, Reese Jones, John Peake.
Shiny in. Is Shiny,
who else?
is Shiny in there?
Anne Murray. Anne Murray, my guest that was on my show last week, Anne Gemma Anderson. Well, Anne is coming down to Wales with us. Yes.
It'd be nice to see her.
I will get a lot.
Because she's always involved. When I did my show, she was always in the chat room along with a lot of the other guys, a lot of the regulars like Spear, Roy, and quite a few others. And you know, some of them guys have been absolutely brilliant, and they backed me 100%. And I've got nothing but absolute respect for the guys in the chat room. And yeah, so a big up to everybody in the chat room. You should be proud of yourselves because you make the show what it is, to be truthful.
Yeah. Yeah, as the people that listens in, it makes a show. We can put a show out, but we need people to listen in to us, comment, keep the show going. I'd like to see more people from Scotland coming on, but the people from Scotland, they're too busy watching Coronation Street and EastEnders, you know, they're more into that and listening to the news because the news, that they get the truth out there, you know.
But if we was to say, Sandy, if we look at the troubles in the world, the corruption, it doesn't get any better, it doesn't improve. We can go back to the era of Margaret Thatcher. This was the start of it all when she destroyed the fucking unions. So she was at the start of bringing the working class fucking down, right? And it snowballed and it snowballed and it went on. It's never been that good for working class people, and you've always had your rich poor divide. Don't care what anybody says, right? The last 2 years, there's a lot of people made a lot of money, whereas there's some people have lost their jobs, right? Lost their businesses and made fuck all, and it's put people on the breadline and on the edge of virtually committing suicide because of what the government has fucking done. Now, they should be held accountable. The two-tier party system does not work. They're as bad as each other. The Labour councillors are full of fucking paedophiles, and the grooming gangs in the Labour-run councils are horrific. Their record as councillors and wards all over the country are disgraceful, despicable, and they don't give a fuck about our children. Our children, like you said, are the new drug. They're the new fucking currency, mate. And they've allowed it to fucking get out of hand. And it got out of fucking hand. I don't care what a fuck. Instead of fucking, you know, we put these politicians in power, they do not stick to their manifestos. And their promises of getting into office, they don't do fuck all compared to their manifestos. They would not win an election on a lie. And that's all it is. They plead to the fucking public. And it's a lie. Everything's a fucking, just a bunch of fucking liars, mate. That's what they are.
A number of years back there, I was heavily involved with SNP. I mean, there are photographs of me up in Parliament and stuff. I was with the SNP. Put my hand up there. But when Sturgeon was the health secretary at the time, and I was asking her for support for the victims, fucking hopeless. And that's when I gave up. But you're taught how to act out in the street. You're shown everyone how to act. If you're out in the street, you see, if the press is there, most of cameras, you know, they use, look for somebody with a child, go to that child.
Yeah.
Talk to the parent. Do you know your child's going to have a fantastic life under SNP, blah, blah, blah. Try and get the mother to give you that child to hold. Hold the child. Right onto camera, so you're seen with that child, because that looks good. Brilliant publicity. Because if you can support a child, you'll support anyone, and that is true. You support a child, you'll support anyone. So you're taught all this. This is stuff that's drummed into you. And because I speak out about this, and Nicola, I call Nicola Sturgeon the organ grinder. She plays the music. and she's got her wee monkeys dancing. And any time, don't care who it is, myself, Mandy, you know, there's people behind our team up here, like Mandy Steele.
She's blinded. Absolutely.
Mandy, Scotland, Mandy McGutt. There's wee lass Steele. There's so many behind the scene here, all working with us. And any time they write to the Scottish Government and they direct that letter to Nicola Sturgeon and ask for her to reply, we never get that reply. She gets one of her wee dancing monkeys to do that. And that's the way it's done. Because that way, if anything bad comes out of this, they're kept safe. Because I didn't say it. It was my wee monkey that said it. And this is what's happening even in the Westminster government. We see it now. You know, that fucking chief of police that resigned, that takes the heat off of fucking Boris. There's a big PO for you, darling. There you go. Your pension secured, the lot. And that's the way governments are run. The police, for government, for social services, the fucking lot, they're all tarred with the one brush, all protecting each other.
Yeah.
And that's how we get nowhere. So
well, it's the
we've got
truth.
to
A
rise.
judge won't go against another judge, a solicitor won't go against another solicitor, a fucking doctor won't go against another doctor, and they all back each other up to the hilt. It's the same as police and everybody. They're all in bed to fucking together.
Well,
They're all, and I'll tell you what, some police officers have got to do some really serious thinking because they're just a fucking tool to do the job.
Yeah, well, let's carry on just now. It's a pity the Welsh girls aren't on tonight. And just a wee quick mention here. Seeing that the Welsh girls are giving me extra time tonight. As many know, these girls are amazing and they're trying to get this, they call it sex education, I call it pornography, stopped in our schools, what they're teaching the kids.
Mm.
Now, this starts with children of 4.
Yeah, I know.
And if you're against this and you pull your child out of that class, you can be charged with not giving your child a proper education.
Yeah.
So what is this? Teaching a child of 4 how to masturbate, telling a child of 4, children 12, 13, 14, 15, they're asking these children, have you ever had vaginal or anal sex? Right? Now, I contacted our education secretary during the week. She's never got back to me. She says she would get back within 24 hours. No. And I asked her about this. What are you going to do about this? Are you going to put an end to it, or are you going to carry this on? I goes, because if I had to turn around and ask you, have you ever had vaginal or anal sex? I goes, you would have the police at my door charging me, which is true.
Mm.
But yet, they think this is okay to ask kids at 12. I mean,
Good point.
I mean, anybody that's listening in tonight has got young daughters, a 12-year-old, 13, 14, that. If I did turn around and say to them, that their kids, have you ever tried anal sex? Teach them how to look at somebody's backside. This is the things they're teaching our kids. They're teaching our kids this. Now, if I had to do that to anyone's kids that's listening tonight, they would not get shit at me. And I'd get locked up for that. But yeah, it's okay for a government to do it. Why? Why is it people sitting back and letting this happen? There's nobody to blame here, bar the people that's allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
There have been a few councils up here in Scotland went, no, salute them, definitely salute them. And more councils should get behind them and go, we are not teaching children that. It's disgusting. You know what? Pisses me off, and that's when I start swearing. So I want to try and get off this a wee bit. I want to be a good boy tonight and show that it's not me, it's Alan and Shane that teaches me.
No, not Jane. She's an angel.
Shane. No, I see a post up there for some girl.
Sorry, Shane's not a bad boy. Shane's a good boy.
No.
You're the fucker, you are.
Did you hear that, Shane? There he's away again. They're Shane and me being good. See what this guy merits teaching us.
I wonder what the chat
Fucking
room
pesky,
the chat room done. I'm a naughty boy.
All I can say, lads, is I'm offended and I'm going to report you to Facebook.
Oh,
And
nice.
you're going to get banned forever. No, just seriously though.
Is Jane there?
Yeah.
Is she woke up?
Back
Yeah,
when we was
Oh,
speaking
God,
in
I'm in trouble
September.
now. Watch me, Puggers. I'm in trouble now. Look, boss is here. The boss is
Oh
here.
no!
I've got my jammies
Oh,
on.
the lovely one.
He is now. Watch.
The lovely one.
There's a few people in the chat room having wee conversations. There's somebody called Shani.
Shani.
Reese Jones.
Aye.
Now Reese is in there. Good man.
He's the boxer.
This
Yeah.
guy needs all your support, people, because tomorrow he starts his therapy and he's not opened up properly before. So
Well,
I know what it's like to finally have therapy. So everybody get behind him. Okay.
Good.
Just wish him well.
Brilliant.
If you can get us in Facebook anytime. My Facebook, our Facebook, should I say, is www.facebook.com/Don't Tell Anyone Scotland. If you need support, send us a private message. My email address is QUARRIERSwarriors@outlook.com. If you need support, we're here for you. That's the way we are.
Everybody thinks when you use the word therapy that it's going to cure you. No. Being abused is not an illness. You won't ever be cured, but you'll be able to manage it.
Well said, Jane.
Manage the horrible thoughts that's in your head. Manage the.
Well said.
Everything that's horrible about being abused. And people are trying to.
Words alike were therapy in themselves.
Yeah, but see, men still are under the impression that men are tough, men don't cry.
Oh, by the way, before this goes away, give me a minute. For the price of a coffee, right? The price of coffee, you can enjoy full interactive benefits of the members from Wake Up UK. Become a Prime member today for £3 a month. Free trial. Enter promo code. And it gives you right. Enjoying the Wake Up UK.
Let me finish what I was saying.
Right, so there you go. Right. Jason, I'll give you a mention. That's
what I'm trying to say is men.
We're going to hear the therapist. Let the therapist speak.
No, but men, even nowadays, think they have to be strong. They can't cry.
Yeah.
A strong man cries. A strong man talks. None of this nonsense that you can't speak because you're protecting somebody else. No, protect yourself. Speak. Don't be frightened. Please. Because you know what? See, the suicide rate in men is unbelievable. My own son took his life when he was 19.
Wow.
So just talk. Don't be frightened. Talk. Even if you just want a one-to-one. I'm not a therapist anymore, and I don't talk to people as a therapist. I talk to people as a friend. But everybody knows if they want to talk to me on a one-to-one, I'm here. I'll listen. So that's out there now. And lovely to see you back, Alan.
Thank you. It's nice to hear your voice, actually. I haven't heard from you for a little while. So, yeah, I haven't been in the right place, I must admit. And I apologise to all the Wake Up guys in the chat room and everybody on the show tonight.
I apologise for Alan.
You know yourself, Alan, that we all say things we don't mean. You're not the only one that's fell out with Jesus. I've done it many a time. But at the end of the day, we don't mean it.
I had so much going on in my head.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's unless you've actually been in them shoes that you can actually, you know, say a lot of the things that we talk about, the topics that we talk about. When we talk about, the military with Shane in the room, when they talk about child abuse with three survivors in the room, at the end of the day, and the Ghurkas, everything that's been on tonight has been so on it, because at the end of the day, it's what most people do not want to talk about.
Yeah. Would you give Kathy our best?
I do that.
She hasn't got a very good voice today because with the radiation, she hasn't got very much of. She's only got half of the cord. Her voice was very, very quiet tonight, and I was a little bit concerned about her. And when I spoke the other day, she could hardly talk to me, and I was shitting myself because I thought they'd done something to her. And I said, "Oh my God, what they've done to you?" And I was, like you said, I was that man with crying my eyes out.
Sorry.
I'll leave you to
No,
it.
stay there a wee minute. I want you there a minute. I heard you talking about when you were down at one of the demos there, the guy with the fireworks.
Sorry.
Turn that one down a bit. But I heard you talking about the fireworks and all that. Now, every year, we try when we can, and Jane and I Hogmanay. To them, it doesn't know. The English viewers, it doesn't know about Hogmanay. It's the day before New Year.
The night before New Year.
The night before New Year. Jane and I, we got up to QUARRIERS orphan homes. And we got for a specific reason. We're always up there before the first stroke to bring in the new year. And we get everything set up. And the first thing we do is we send 4 rockets up. One facing north, east, south, west. The reason behind this is for the QUARRIERS warriors and for all warriors to know that we're here for them. It's also to let QUARRIERS orphan homes know they may have silenced as children, but they'll not silence us anymore. Now, I've got a friend that lives not far from us, and he's getting the license, and he makes fireworks. That's what he does, puts on displays.
Oh, God.
So I was saying to him, what we were doing. I'll see you proud. Because I'm looking for 4 rockets, but I really want them to be loud. No bother. Well, he gave us these fucking things. And I set them up, and one of them was going over by the church and QUARRIERS over the bell tower. And it was the first one to go off. And Alan, this fucking bang. It deafened us.
Oh, my God.
And boom, boom. Oh, you had to hear us to believe it. Honestly, fuck, they must have thought the war was starting again. Nuclear bombs went off. They must have thought the nuclear bomb went off down in the Clyde.
You filmed it, and then got the realistic of it all.
Aye, well, I did one. And it was the other rockets they gave us. I stood in one of the sticks and I broke it. So I come up with an ingenious idea, and I duct taped it to another rocket, and I lit the 2 of them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It worked a treat. It went straight as a fucking die, right up.
Really?
Aye. But then...
Oh, no.
Right, the fucking thing's going onwards. And we're standing in this bridge across the River Grive, and I see this fucking thing heading towards me and Jane.
Oh,
and
what? Exorcist.
It was duck. We did duck, and this thing fucking shot over our head. Flew into this field, hit at this hill, and the fucking bang again. It blew the hell away. But unknown to us.
We had to get me some for the fucking moles.
Aye, but unknown to us, there were sheep in the field. Fuck, they were passing us. They were jumping fences, all roads. These sheep. We scared the shit out
No
of us.
sheep was killed
But
in the making of that.
There were no sheep injured. Well, that's the good news. There were no sheep injured. But let me see if I can get that video and put it up. Because when you watch a video and you see the rockets, when they go off, you only hear one word when they go off, and it's, oh fuck. 2 words, oh fuck. But the way the rockets goes off, it's all these wee white fucking things. It's flat. They go everywhere. It's like sheep getting tossed up into the air.
It was sheep
But
getting tossed up.
No, it was now. Get it straight. I don't want any more complaints. Bad enough shit now. No, but
when we was in QUARRIERS and we was laying the crosses, and Auntie Kim was there with the roses and laying the flowers and that.
Yeah.
Now, she stood next to me. She stood next to me, and I looked over at her, and I said to her, "Is this a family? It's 3 names or something like that at this headstone." And if you'd have seen her face, or if I'd have been filming her face, and you saw her face, it would have told 1,000 stories, because her expression on her face was so weird. It was strange, because I said to her, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh my God, oh my God." And I said, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" She said, "I'm spiritual, I've got like a
God says.
spiritual nature." And she said, "All I can see is orbs." I said, "What?" She said, "You're surrounded by orbs. You've been led down at a headstone, and there's orbs all around you." And I thought, I can't see nothing. I thought, how can you see this?
She's done it with me,
Yeah,
though,
well,
Alan. She showed me it. She actually sent me the picture of what she'd
we
seen
have got,
and the orbs around my body.
yeah. Well, we have got some amazing photographs with weird things that's happened up there.
Yeah.
And I put one
I'm
up
leaving you
already.
to it. I'm leaving you to
Frightened
it.
me in some respect, because I thought, oh God, have I done something wrong? When she said, "You're surrounded by these orbs," and
Spiritual.
Yeah,
She's very
well,
spiritual.
There's a tree in the graveyard. It's a Lalandi tree, and there's 4 sections of it. We call it the cave. And
Yeah.
when we get flowers and stuff, that's where we put them. And Jane and I went up to the graveyard. We were only there ourselves. There were 100% no one in that graveyard but us. And I was taking a photograph, looking down at the headstones. Took the photograph, come home, downloaded it, and I'm looking at them. What the hell? And I had to look at us carefully. Shouted, and Jane goes, "Come here, look at a photo." And I swear, it's like a woman down on her knees praying. Now I put that in my Facebook.
I said it was a woman. I said it was a woman.
Everybody's seen that.
Everybody
Yeah.
says it's a woman.
Now,
It's definitely a woman leaning down.
now another thing you were talking about Aunt Kim. Just to let people know it doesn't know about Aunt Kim. Aunt Kim has got an amazing nephew that we all know, John Wager. And when we held our first service,
We have to
Alan
protect
come
him a
along.
little bit, Andy, so be careful.
Aye, well, you come along, and John, and you done the video for us, put it out, and I think it's nearly at 15,000 views now. It was brilliant the way it was done. But
That
on
Beast of the Bell Tower was a good one as well, Sandy.
Pardon?
The one I did with you and John, the Beast of the Bell Tower.
Yeah, that was
that's very
true. Yeah,
That's a very good one as well.
That got a good message out. But that this after that went out, this woman Aunt Kim, come on the scene, come into our lives. And she'd seen this, and the poor woman was breaking her heart. She couldn't believe what she was seeing.
Yeah, she was.
But on
I've never
that
seen her like that. She was almost kind of, I don't know what the word is, but she was almost so taken back by what it's kind of like a sacred place where she engaged with it through a different means, if that kind of ruminates to anything what we're saying.
Uh-huh.
I mean, whether it's spiritually bonded with it or whatever.
Just to interrupt for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about here, it's at Quarriers Orphan Homes in Nittingkill Graveyard. There's 338 little children laid to rest in there. And for some unknown reason we'll never know, someone gave an order and removed the children's headstones. When Jane and I first met again after being apart for 48 years, we went back to Quarriers in 2013. And as we entered the graveyard, Jane goes to me, "Where are they?" I goes, "What?" She went to kids' headstones. Oh my God. So it angered me. And we took on Quarriers to replace them. It took us 5 years. Last year, that was the work, fully completed everything we wanted. 5 years to do it, to replace the kids' headstones, put gates up and stuff. We got it done in the end. But when John was up, and John was walking around the graveyard with us, and that man was breaking his heart. He goes, "My God," he goes, "I can't believe this." He goes, "It's like war graves." And he put that out in the video as well. After that, John went outside and John was breaking his heart. I got him outside breaking his heart.
Yeah, he was. I see that.
With the amazing Blair twins come up.
Oh, yeah.
And they were the same. I get emotional talking about this because it does get to me.
Yeah, I know.
Everything I've done in my life, it's the greatest battle I've fought in. Because today, they children, thanks to the Quarriers Warriors, thanks to people like you, Alan, Shane, the people that got behind us and gave us the support to put the final kick into Quarriers. We go back there, and Jane will tell you, Jane's there as my one. Every time I go into that graveyard with Jane and I end up crying.
Yeah.
Because it's just amazing to see the kids being remembered again.
Jane makes me cry. I don't know about anything else.
But
Sandy,
everybody,
if I go off, Sandy, if I go off, my battery is about to die. So if you see me go off, it's because my battery is dead. I didn't realise it'd be on this long. I was just going to pop on the.
It's just quickly to say some. You mentioned something about three names on the headstone. That's because it's three bodies in that grave.
Three bodies in the one.
But
wow.
They didn't die the same year, so they must have dug that up to put another kid in it.
It's obvious.
Why? Right. There's loads of space in that place. Why did they do that?
To save space. That's what they do it for.
She made a very poignant remark about she was so kind of like taken back and almost stepped back because she said surrounded by these orbs and I was frightened because I didn't know whether they knew something or I had done something to offend them or the churchyard, or I'd put a cross or a flower or something in the wrong place. It's very difficult to say, but I was just so shocked by Kim's reaction. I thought, what have I done wrong?
I think she
was because Kim got in contact with us. She goes, "Is there a child?" No, this is before she knew. She goes, "Is there a child in there named Annie?" Just a minute. Now I've got a list of every child when they gained their golden wings, their names in that. I've got that here. So I went through the list. I goes, "Yeah," I goes, "They're a child." I goes, "Blah blah." When they died, she went, "No." She went, "That's not the date." I went, "Oh, sorry." I goes, "I missed one." I goes, "There's another girl here." And before I could give Kim the date, she goes, she told me when the kid died. I went, goes, "How do you know that?" Because I knew she hadn't seen the list. She goes, "I've been having dreams for the last few nights about this child."
Wow.
Yeah. So when Kim was up there, Kim took over that child and put the rose down for her. And every year Kim sends up roses or something for us, so that all the child will be remembered. It's brilliant, the support we've got here, because I know that after my time, Jane's time in Mother Earth, we've got young ones that's going to, we've got Lynn McLean, we've got Lass Steele, we've got Mandy and that. They're all going to be there doing their guardianship for those children. They'll keep our service going. We hold a service every year. It's the closest Sunday to the 29th of September. A few
I'll be
reasons.
there, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll be up there. I'll be up there with Shane and them.
Yeah. But as I say, I am looking forward to April. And we're all back. We're not just talking Facebook.
It's not that far away, you know. I mean, we talk about it as if it's a long way away, but you know, we're not too far away from March, and then we're in April.
Yeah, well, Sturgeon's come around now, and you've got to be fully vaccinated, right? Have already vaccinated to get on a plane. So that fucks me up, you know. So
she is up a rocker. She is got to be so mad because what at the end of the day, as it's all proven, because people that have been, I know people now. I didn't know this before, but I know now for what I've gone through that we've said there is something out there, right? I've never denied the fact that there was something out there, whether they call it COVID or coronavirus. Coronavirus has been around a long, long time.
Yeah.
The name they give it of COVID 2019, right? Whatever came thereafter in rules and regulations and mandates and you name it, right, by the governments, whatever agenda was on the table, at the end of the day, all these vaccinations that people were frightened into taking because it was scare tactics they used on the media. They used the media, and the media now are just part of the problem. Right,
Yeah,
and people that are vaccinated, I know people that are triple vaccinated. They got what I got, and they were terrible. They said they were so ill. You know, they thought they were fucking dying. It was just, they said it was like the worst flu they ever had. It was said like it was almost like Asian flu or whatever the case might be. It was terrible, thumping headaches. Their eyes felt like they were popping out their heads. They felt like they were going to be sick and nauseous. They were so tired, lethargic, didn't want to do anything. And they said all this, and they were triple vaccinated. They said if there was a fourth one, there's no way they would have it. But they did it because they thought it was the right thing to do. And the government was telling them to do it. Whether people say, no, I'm not going to take sides here, whether people say they're sheep or whatever they want to call people, at the end of the day, it's people's choice. If they want to roll their arm up and take the injection, it's their choice. But it's also people's choice if they do not want to succumb to it and take the vaccination. So it should be all down to consent.
The thing was as well there, where I live, we've got a lot of brilliant hospitals, all close range of me. You know,
it's gone with it, Sandy. Everything that's gone with it. It's just the fucking madness gone with it.
Well, I was in there during the week to get my cataract done. And by the way, I don't need glasses. I don't know why I've got them on. I can read everything without them.
It's habit.
But anyway, I was sent 40 miles away from my home. Why? They told me that the hospital in Paisley, they couldn't have anything. They told me even in the emergency wards were all taken with COVID. Bill fucking shit. I was up there the week before that. I was in there getting tested. And, well, not tested, but checked all out and asked questions. I seen it for myself. The wards were empty. Now, when I was taken to this Vela Leaving Hospital over in Alexandria in Dunbartonshire, near enough at Loch Lomond where we went to. So I goes away and I gets it. So, of course, they phoned up, you know, Lynn to make sure I was getting a lift home. Lynn goes, yeah, I'm on my way. So, okay. So I goes, well, I'll stand outside just to make sure. Well, Lynn got held up and I phoned Jane. I was out there, it was back at 3 o'clock, but I'll say 3:30 I was out there. It come on about 4:30 and I phoned Jane. I goes, listen, Lynn's not here. She goes, right, I'll phone her. I goes, listen, my phone's going dead. B, my phone ran out of charge. So that was me, no communication. So I'm standing and I'm waiting. The nurses in for this part of the hospital I was in, they were all going home for the day. So I'm standing there and it started to fucking rain. By this time it's coming on to 6 o'clock and I was fucking frozen. And with the cold, it triggers off my neck and my shoulder and stuff. And I was really, really sore. So I went in to this other part of the hospital. And as I entered it was this nurse and she fucking, I mean, this woman came storming at me. What are you doing in here? Shouting. That's the way she was talking. What are you doing in here? What are you doing in here? Get out, get out. I goes, listen, love, because I'm trying to get a phone that I can get home. Get out of here, get out. Do you know there's a fucking bull starts shouting the words? I goes, listen, just hear me out. I goes, I'm stranded here. I goes, I was in for a cataract in my eye. I goes, I need to get home. I've got no means. She goes, well, get a bloody taxi. Get out. And I was put out of that hospital. They would not give me a phone to get transport home. 40 miles away from home.
Yeah.
So I walked maybe about 2 miles from the hospital. I was going for a train, but I seen a taxi driver and asked him, I goes, listen, mate, I ain't any
Could you
taxi.
see all right?
Pardon?
Could you see all right?
No, I had a big patch in my eye. And okay, I could see it with one eye, you know.
Yeah,
aye,
and your
okay.
eyes were probably
But-
inflamed or had drops in them anyway.
Yeah, but the thing was, I don't know why we're getting the sight, you know, it was a clear patch, I could see through it.
Yeah.
But my balance was honest. I was like, I don't mind. I was Jesus Christ, what's up with me? You know,
Mm.
it's the first time in my life I've been sober and yet drunk. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was staggering about the place.
Well, you
So
probably wasn't balanced properly.
yeah, it was a balance. Even today, I'm still a wee bit now and again. My
Yeah, yeah.
balance, it goes. It's just the eye. It's been out of commission that long, you know, about 2 years or so, and you get used to one eye, and then all of a sudden you can see it both. So it's obvious it happens. They told me it would probably happen. It did. But here was me stranded there. Now, as I said, I had to walk about 2 miles, and I was passing a garage. It was a taxi driver, and asked him. I goes, listen, mate. I goes, do you take cars? He went, yeah. He goes, oh, I'm not allowed to pick up my street. He goes, there's a taxi office down there. He goes over on the right hand side. He goes, it's not far. He goes, quarter of a mile away. So I managed to get to the taxi office, and I got a taxi home. And I'm telling you, you wouldn't see this for a taxi driver. Fuck, I've been in taxis, and I've been in cars going fast. Believe me. This taxi driver, I was shitting myself. And I'm holding on to the seatbelt with this hand, and I'm holding on to the wee buckle bit with the other hand, and I could feel my body going, this guy was fucking doing the motorway in and out of traffic. So we were coming to the turn off for Bridge of Weir. Whoa! Right by it. So I was like, mate, I goes, you've missed the turn off. He goes, oh, have I? He goes, I thought Bridge of Weir was about 7 miles further on. I went, no. So when they got round the country, you know, we had extra time and extra charges on his meter right enough. But I had to pay for that. It was £42 for a taxi, but I did manage to go home. And I think that's Alan off now. He did say about his phone and stuff. Did you hear, by the way, Sean, did you hear Alan stating there? He goes, I might be getting off.
Yeah, he did say, Sandy, because his battery was low.
Because we were talking about fireworks, and that's what I was laughing about. We're talking about fireworks, setting fireworks off. And Alan goes, I might be getting off in a minute. I thought he was going to do an impression of a firework and blow his cell up. Right, I'm getting off now. Sizzle, sizzle, boof. Bye, Alan. Fucking doing his Taliban impression.
I remember a few years ago, I was working with this lovely Irish bloke, Davey. You wouldn't, he's a lovely bloke.
I want a cap like that.
And I was with an ex at that time. She's got a sister living over in Ireland, Northern Ireland. And one of her daughters was getting married. Anyway, I'd got invited to the wedding. It didn't happen because it all fell to bits for me and her. You know, I mean, the wedding went ahead. But I said to Davey, the Irish lad, I said, here, Davey, cracking bloke. I said, I've been invited to this Irish wedding, Davey. He went, and I love the Irish accent anyway. I won't do the accent, but he said, do you know what happens with them? I said, no, I've never been to an Irish one. He said, you go through all the marriage procedure and all that. He said, then you got about 3 days of wedding reception, where it's just basically a massive fucking punch up. Everyone shakes hands and then they all go back to their normal lives. And I'm thinking, fucking hell.
That's something. That's an Irish way. Oh, it's true, you know. But the Irish are amazing, you know. My father's side of the family, they came from Ireland over to Scotland years ago. So I've got a bit of Irish blood in me. But the humour of the Irish is brilliant. I think that's where I take it from. But it's brilliant. You know, they're amazing people. Absolutely brilliant. And we will visit, the Warriors will visit Ireland one day. We will be in Ireland because this is the idea behind this new group we've set up with Shane and Alan and everyone. We've all been victims of childhood sexual abuse. And it was a dream of mine to bring every one of us together from all over the UK, Scotland, England, Ireland, and Wales. And I was just wondering, could this be made possible? So I set out last September 2021 to make this dream become a reality. And it did become a reality. But now it's not I. That I's dropped, it's we. And we are going to Wales on the 30th of April. We'll be at the Parliament down there from 12 p.m. We've got something planned. And I mean, if we can pull this off, be there for 12 sharp because you're going to see something spectacular happening. We're not saying what, but what I think you will see. It'll be amazing to see. And I can put my hand in my heart. You've got to be there. Make sure you've got your cameras, video cameras, and video. That's all I'm saying. No more, no less. There's only a few. No, thank you. No, I'll get them later. But there's going to be some day in Cardiff that we know it's going to be bigger than what we had in Glasgow with the amount of people that's want to go there. We do thank them. We do thank each and every one of them.
I'm going to get a big hug for Shane. A big hug.
Aye.
I'm not Shane. I'm getting a big hug from you.
Jane, if I can just say to you, my lovely, you're going to get a bigger one off me.
Oh,
here I might get jealous.
You'll never lift him, I can assure you.
You know,
Captain Pugwash, and you know we'll be there. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales again. You know.
Yeah, because that's the thing with us when we all come together, we're all hugging each other. So
it should be.
And that's the way it should be. We should all be. Okay, there are people, you know, saying I don't go on with. There are people we all don't go on with. But on this day, put that behind you and think of the children. That's what it's for. Not just for the children. All injustice, and I mean all, from the children of sexual abuse, has been abused, like myself, Shane, Alan, blah, blah, down the line, Jane. It's a day for that. It's a day for the Ghurkas because they're getting injustice. You heard tonight where Dan speaking about the way they've been treated. This is what it's about, all coming together, standing, uniting as one. We come in peace. We don't want any hassle. We don't want people running up to police and this, that, and the next thing. No chance. If you're going to act stupid, you'll be asked to leave. And believe me, we've got some bouncers coming here. I mean, we've got a boxer coming here, you know. But I forgot to ask Alan, you know, a question tonight. So, Mr. Merritt, if you listen back to this, I was talking to Shane the other night, and as we know, the girls from Wales are trying to raise a bit of money to take the government to court. So, I know Reese Jones is listening in. So, Reese, I've come up with a great thing and you could help me with. And I want to challenge you to a boxing match. I personally want to challenge you to a boxing match.
Are you mad?
No, no mad. This is a challenge I'm putting out to him. And I want people to sponsor us for this. Because what I'm going to do, and this goes out to you, Reese, I'm going to nominate, I want two people you fight, right? You've got to fight two people. And every penny we get will go to help the Welsh girls. And what I'm going to do is I'm challenging you to help us on this. And I'm going to put Alan and Shane in the ring with you.
Fuck right off. It took 7 geezers to take him out.
Oh, you
But,
coward. You coward. You coward. Do you not think that was a good idea?
Nah, he'd be up for it, but I said to
I know he would, though. That's all a bit of fun. There's a bit of fun there. You know, I'm not getting in, but you can. You know, you go in with him. But there were an amazing video put up the other day. We Kim Ashwood, Kim's a darling. They all are the Welsh girls. And they're trying to raise this money, and they're doing a skate-a-thon. Right? Now, I've got it on my Facebook site. Please, guys, if you've not seen it, or if you can go into the Welsh Girls site, watch it. Help them as much as can. Because if these girls succeed in this, then it can get spread around the UK, and our children will not be taught, especially at 4-year-old, how to masturbate. It's okay to touch your wee brother and sister and that. This can all be stopped. It can be done through the Welsh Girls.
I don't think Kim's doing very well.
We're not asking just to donate thousands or hundreds. Put in £1 if you can. That £1 will help so much. Now, on my Facebook site, there's about 3,500, probably 4,000 on my Facebook. I'm not too sure. But just think, if every one of you gave £1, they're £4,000 already. Shade site, the people that's on that gave £1. This would all mount up. And maybe, just that wee maybe, if things go to plan, which I reckon they will, and the girls win this, then our children for all over the UK can lead a normal life and be little boys and little girls. They can get that. This is a one-off chance, just once. You don't get a second chance, it's one chance. Let's help the Welsh girls to win this battle. We can do it, guys. All I'm asking for is £1 off everybody. I've never asked for money before off anyone, but I've tonight. And it's to give to the Welsh girls. As Alan says, he's donated, I've donated. But I want everybody to donate. I want them all to do something.
Yeah, I've donated a one of myself, you know.
You know, we've all done our part.
This is important, Sandy, you know.
You know, so anybody's listening. And by the way, if anybody wants to jump on the now, please do. I'll put a wee link up. And if you want to jump in, you can jump in. Because the Welsh girls aren't on tonight. And we'll see if I can get us to work. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong here. But please feel free to jump on, join us. As we're going to be opening up the link in a minute once I get this thing sorted out. And I can find the link. Can't post comments to someone. I don't know what mail that is. Just tell me I can't post. I don't know what's up. Oh, Christ. But I'm not allowed to put posts out. We'll see what's up here. Try and get this thing working. But we've all frozen up. I don't know if you can still hear me, Shane.
Yeah, I can still hear you, mate.
I don't know what's happened there. The screen's frozen up and stuff. But I blame government. People can still hear us. But we're trying to get a link out. I don't know if Jane will be able to get it.
What I'm going to have to do, Sandy, is I'm going to have another visit to the loo, nip round my local shop because I've literally run out of baccy.
Aye. Well, okay, we'll call it a night. It's getting late, isn't it? Aye.
Well, we've been on here 2.5 hours, so it's been a good show.
Yeah, it was really good. And a big thank you to yourself, Shane. A big thank you to Alan Merritt. a special, and I mean this, a special thanks to Dan the man, the Ghurka man, for coming on and letting us know more about the injustice the Ghurkas are getting done. Please, everyone, give the Ghurkas as much support as you can. They deserve it.
Yeah.
They deserve this. They put their
We-
life on the line for us, so surely to God, we can do something to support them. Give
We
them
are
that.
standing by them, mate. We are standing by them.
100%, 100%, 100% have got my support. They've got the Quarriers Warriors support. I know that. We've all got to stand united, linking with each other. And I've said this many times, that link in the chain can only get bigger and stronger. But we've got to come together, one and all, because our government is destroying us, wrecking us, and it's time to wake up and find out this. Find out now. Find out the truth before it's too late and your life is destroyed, because it is going to happen. We see it happening.
Yeah.
The new world order is on its way, and you can see that the way we've been silenced, the way that they're teaching our children, brainwashing them with sex at a young age, because all they're doing there is they're causing these children will be brainwashed with sex, will think it's normal to go and rape anybody. And that's the way it's going. We've got to put an end to this. So many things we've got to put an end to. As I say, on the 30th of April, the UK Adult Warriors of Childhood Sexual Abuse, we will be coming, and we will be coming to Cardiff on the 30th of April from 12 p.m. We need you to come, support us, give us that support. Save your pennies up. We're saving our pennies up to go. I mean, we're no millionaires, we're far from it. We'll never be millionaires, that's for sure. But one thing we do is we give our support. And the reason we do it is to protect your children from becoming the children of abuse of tomorrow. So please, you show us a bit of support and stand with us in Cardiff. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
I know I've no long to go in Mother Earth, but I hope by the time I leave Mother Earth, I can leave with a smile on my face going, I've done my part. I have done my part to protect your children. So you do the same and protect your own children. Stand with us. It's the only way we can do this. Challenge governments.
Yeah.
So to everyone in the chat room, there's too many to go through the names. Thanks to each and every one of you for being there. We can't do a show without the people leaving comments and listening into us. It's brilliant. I'll be back next Sunday night on wakeupuk.net at 7 p.m. with another guest. Now, I was naming my show North of the Border. That's getting changed. And I'm going to be calling the show Have Your Say. That's what I'm going to go under now. So the show from next week will be called Have Your Say, because we want people to have their say. I have got a platform here. If anyone wants to get anything out, you can get in contact with us. If you're on my Facebook site, that's my Facebook site is www.facebook.net/Don't Tell Anyone Scotland. My email address is quarrierswarriors@outlook.com. Just drop me a note, tell me what you want to talk about, and this platform here for you. But as I say to yourself, Shane, thank you. To Alan Merrick, thank you. To everyone that listened in tonight, a massive thank you. A thank you to Jason for giving us a platform to get things out. And I do hope that Dan, the Ghurka man, and the Ghurkas can get every bit of your support we can give them. Every bit. I hope that Dan, the man, and the Ghurka men can come along to Wales or Cardiff. No, it's in Wales. I hope they can come along to Cardiff and stand with us, because we will stand with them proud, very proud. Please, guys, do your best. Take a card off. That's all I'm asking. So on that, I'm going to say good night to the captain. And good night to each and every one of you. And
Captain Pugwash is over and out, Sandy.
Yeah.
But it's been a fantastic show, mate, and thank you.
no bother. So to each and every one of you from Shane and I, good night, guys. God bless. Take care of your children. Keep them safe. Check your devices regular. 5 minutes of your time can save your child a lifetime of hell. Keep checking your devices, no you're speaking to. So on that, once again, from Shane and I, night troops. God bless. Night, Shane.
See you, Sandy.
Will do.